So basic, yeah. So if you think about it, the number of flag questions are four, and one of them was incomplete. So there was four questions that you didn't think you knew the answer to, or you wanted me to have a wee look at with you. Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is I'll end the test now, and this video will be available for you after I do it. So if you want to go through some of the questions that I've talked about and you're not sure what I was saying, then you could come back and have a look at this, and I'll send you a link to your email address after the lesson's over. And that's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very good for revision. People tell me that really works for them.
Yeah.
Because, obviously I'll give you a lot of information, and some of it might be too heavy.
Yeah.
And then you could play it back at your own time and say, well, okay, and now I know what he means now,
Yeah.
It does work for people. So straight away we can see then that you've done very well on the test. It's a medium test, it's not an easy one. It hasn't been the right score, and this is probably what's been happening to you when you've been doing the real one. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So there's 15 questions there that you weren't sure about, or you flagged because you didn't know them. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at them, and then when we finish this, I'll have a very good idea of what categories of the question bank that you're having trouble with, and then that way I can. It's kind of like some people have only trouble with maybe one or two categories of the questions. In other words, they're actually pretty good with maybe 70% of the highway code, but it's that 30.
It's just the other 30%.
Yeah, it's just that 130% that they just can't get, whether it's to do with documents or the signs or something like that. So let's have a look at number 4 first of all. Well, this is a question that I would think most people would get wrong, or they would guess it. Have you ever heard of that before?
On a vehicle, where would you find a catalytic converter?
Can you hear that when they play that?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. So sometimes when you're doing the test, have you been using the earphones and listening to the questions as well?
Yeah.
Good, because that does work. That does help.
Yeah, that's more helpful.
Well, I'll tell you one of the things about this catalytic converter, if you like. It really sits on top of the engine, and the reason why they have it is to try to stop the fumes going into the air, which are toxic, like they're full of lead and all the chemicals that are very bad for our lungs. And so basically in cities and towns across the world, before they started fitting these things, I would probably give people quite a bad cough or give them asthma. So they invented these catalytic converters, and nobody can even pronounce it, never mind know what it is.
Yeah.
When I looked at it, I was like, what the heck is it? Yeah, a Cadillac or something. Sounds like an American car, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
So that's how I tell people to remember it. I call that a memory trigger. So a memory trigger is something that will make you remember the question when it comes up again. And if you can just remember the Cadillac converter, or Cadillac, which is the same as the car, and then just remember it's to do with exhaust. In other words, just remember the word exhaust. Don't try to remember the whole question. Just focus on these two words. This is called a memory trigger now, I'm giving you. So just focus on the two words, because you'll never see that come up ever again on any questions. If you see the word Cadillac or catalytic as it can be pronounced, then you just remember then that's to do with exhaust.
Exhaust.
Yeah, just remember them two words. And if you can pronounce it perfect every time, you're better than me. Yeah, I don't even hear anyone ever saying that ever anywhere. Yeah. So it's been around for a long time, but like most people wouldn't know what it is. So, well, what do you think? Are you happy with that idea?
Yep.
You got your notes taken?
Yeah.
Well, I will send you this anyway, like I said, so you will get a wee link for it. All right, my mate, no worries. But yeah, I could understand why you got that one wrong. All right. Number 5, then. Back to the fuel saving thing again. So what does fuel efficient driving achieve?
What does fuel efficient driving achieve?
Okay, so basically anytime you hear this being talked about, fuel efficient, right? You just need to remember that it's all about saving energy.
Yeah.
The world's all about saving energy now. Everything, if it's not electric vehicles, it's something else. It's all about trying to save pollution on the planet, if you like, and save the whales and all that lovely stuff. Yeah, save the whales. So fuel efficient basically means that you're going to, and you nearly got, I mean, you're in the right area there, damage to the environment.
Yeah.
But what it said there is, what does fuel efficient driving achieve? Well, you got the right idea, but if you think of the way the word that's worded, right? And this is something that you have to be careful with the wording of the question. So what does fuel efficient driving achieve? So fuel efficient means you'd be saving fuel and you'd be improving things. You'd be making things better.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be making it worse. So that's why that's the correct answer, because if you look at that answer, it uses the word improved.
Oh, yeah. Not
You
like
see?
because it's improved.
Yeah, the word improved means it's a good thing. Whereas if you look at this one, even though the environment is something to do with the environment, but saving fuel or being fuel efficient, I'll just put a wee message down here. This is basically using, I can't draw very well with this mouse, but using less fuel.
Yeah.
Excuse my writing with this mouse. Is that okay? Can you make that out?
Yeah, yeah.
Using less fuel is fuel efficient. So by using less fuel, guess what? You improve things.
Yeah, improved road safety then.
So the word improve is what you're looking for. Improve things. You see, it doesn't make it worse. See, you went damage. So damage means you're making it worse.
Yeah.
So you understand okay now?
Yeah.
That's a tough one though. And you nearly got it right, actually, because you went to the right area, the environment, right? But it's the wording of the question caught you, the way they worded that. There was a wee bit of a trick one. See, that's what they do, and the app doesn't do that, right?
No, it doesn't.
The app doesn't do trick stuff like that. It just does plain questions. But when you go to do the real test, this is what they do. They try to confuse you a little bit so as to see if you really do know the answer. A bit unfair of them, I must say.
Yeah, it is.
But they kind of trick you, so I have to say that. And they really try to trick you to find out, do you really know the answer, or do you know in learning, right? They have this thing. You ever heard the word like parrot fashion learning or rote learning?
Rote learning, yeah.
Well, rote learning is basically when you memorize the correct answers in a book. Like you just like multiple choice, but you remember the correct answer only. You don't really understand what the answer means.
Yeah.
You just remember the answer. Well, the apps that you've been using, they work on rote learning. But when you go to do the real test, they don't work like that. They work on what's known as comprehension. And so
you're reading it and then having to take it from the answer and then use it to answer the question.
That's it. Exactly. You've got to really know the answer to the question. You can't just you can't guess it. Like the books, that's what's happening to you. So it is. You've been doing the rote learning thing, and it's not worked for you. So now you're going to have to learn about protecting the environment and all these lovely words like fuel efficient vehicles and catalytic converters and oh my goodness. You'll be like a mechanic by the time you finish this class tonight. So
I know.
All right, let me see what else we got.
There are no speed limit signs on the road. How is a 30 miles per hour limit generally indicated?
You see, this is a trick question as well. You see, when you live in an area, right? I don't know where you live in the country or you live in the town or something.
No, I live in the town, yeah.
Right. So if you live in the town, right, then you have streetlights outside your house. Well, when you drive a car on the roads or a machine on the roads, the way they tell you about the speed limits is by streetlights. So if you've got streetlights, that means that the speed limit is going to be 30 miles per hour, unless there's a sign telling you different.
Okay.
That's it in a nutshell. Do you know why the speed limit is 30 where there's streetlights and it's not 30 when there's no streetlights?
It's because of the area.
Yeah, it is.
Like a town and there's more streetlights, then there's more likely to be more pedestrians and people.
Yeah, you got it. It's really as simple as that. because there's people live there, you've got to go
Yeah.
slower. So that's why they make the speed limit when there's street lights 30. So that means they can ask this question in a couple of different ways, which are confusing, right? They might say this to you. Okay, this is what they might say. So you're driving along a road and there's no street lights. What's the speed limit? Below 30 or above. See?
30
There's
or
no
above.
Yeah, it could be 30, it could be above 30, couldn't it? Because guess
Yeah.
why? There's no
There's
street
no
lights. There,
streetlights.
people live in there. Do you ever when you go out driving on the back roads and you see a white circle with a black line?
Yeah. The
You know,
end of start of the national speed limit.
yeah, the white circle with a black line basically is a sign that they tell you that the speed limit's not 30 anymore. And that you can go up to 60, would you believe, if you're a qualified driver, 45 if
Yeah.
you're a new driver. So that's another way. There's another one question comes up that's a good one to remember, Amy, is there's something you must do if you park your car on a road that hasn't got street lights. Do you know what it is?
No.
This is a tricky one. If you were parking your car at night in a road which has got no street lights, you must leave your small lights on in the car.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, most people don't. Do you know what they call the lights? The proper name for them that you leave on?
No.
They're called parking lights, or side lights.
Parking lights?
Yeah, they're called parking lights or side lights. Yeah, and they're the wee small lights that's on a car. If you want to write this stuff down, it's fine. I don't mind. Just let me know when you've got the bits done.
I've got my notes. Got my notes.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you just let me know whenever you want me to move on, and I'll move on to the next one. If you're writing the stuff down, and I don't know because I can't see. It's the only thing about when you're in a classroom, you can see this when you look at all the students writing stuff down, but when you're doing this, you can't see. You can't see. So you'll have to tell me when you're finished taking notes. So
Yeah, I've got those notes.
that's cool. All right, let's look at number 8. So your insurer will issue you with an insurance certificate. What must you produce this document for, and where or when must you produce it for inspection?
Your insurer will issue you with an insurance certificate. When must you produce this document for inspection?
That's a good one, isn't it?
I've just realised this says inspection.
I know.
So it'd be like somebody checking.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Gonna buy or sell it.
Yeah. I mean, you see what they're trying to, this is a legal question, right? So this is a question that they want you to know from a legal point of view, right? So
yeah.
So they always ask about what the police will ask you for when they stop you. All right. Now I'm going to give you 3 letters to remember for me. And we'll go for M, I, and D. Mid.
Mid,
It's a good way to remember it. So they always want to know what these 3 letters mean. When you get stopped with the police, what the police might ask you for. So you tell me, guess what M is for?
I am.
Mm-hmm. So these are all questions that come up in your theory test, the legal questions, right? So what is it? 3 things that the police officer might ask you for when they stop you at the side of the road.
MOT.
Brilliant. Well done. Good answer. There you go. I'll try and draw this as sensible as I can. Yeah, there you go. Not bad. I've been only practicing for about 10 years. So what else have we got? What's I about then?
Insurance.
Yeah, you know what? I'll just put IN there and an S. So run out of the screen otherwise. What about the D?
Driver's license.
There we go. Okay. Driver license. Okay, so that's the 3 questions that the police, or 3 things the police will want you to produce. So guess what? if you get a question where it says something like, when must you produce this document or whatever, or what will the policeman ask you for? They're looking for one of these three answers. It's always going to be one of these three answers. MOT, insurance, or driver license.
Yeah.
So they'll try to find out, do you know that these are the three possible things a police might ask you for? And they can do it all different ways, but they'll always try to catch you with this one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you get insurance, you always have to have insurance when you drive a car, right? You'll always have to have it, right? So that's one of the things. The other thing about when you have to supply insurance, right, an MOT or all the rest of the stuff, is basically if you're going to get road tax for the car.
Okay, yeah.
They won't give you road tax without having MOT and insurance. They won't give you when you go to get it. They won't give you. It's all done online. It's all done online now. You know, when you do things
online, yeah.
Yeah. So as soon as you go to do it, you punch in your registration number. Then you go, can I get some tax? And you'll say, no, sorry, you've got no MOT. And that's the bad news. You got them notes?
Yep.
Question 11 then. What makes your tires illegal? Whoa. We asked this question on the driving test day, by the way.
I think I've had this one before, actually.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you remember it?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the driving examiner talking with you, right? So you're doing your driving test. I'm the driving examiner, right? This is the day of your test. Ooh, scary. Yeah, actually, I just did a driving test this afternoon, and they asked them this question before they went out in the car. And they said, what is the legal tire tread depth of a tire?
Oh, this came up one time in practice. I was going to say 6.1.
6.1.
I was going to say 6 something, yeah. 1.6.
1.6 millimeters. That's the legal tire tread depth. But the tire must also not have any cuts in it or any damage to it. Visually, you know.
Visually, yeah.
Yeah, when you look at it, you don't see any big bumps in it or cuts in it. But the legal tire tread depth is 1.6 millimeters. And that comes up in the theory test quite a lot.
Yeah.
16, good way to remember it. Then just put a point in the middle.
Yeah. And neither is a 6 in it somewhere.
Yeah. 16, go for 16. That's a good way to remember it.
Yeah.
And then just put a point in the middle of it. Okay, then we see what else we got here. 13, unlucky for some. You've stopped in the emergency area. What must you do before you join the carriageway? What do they mean by carriageway? What is a carriageway?
2 lanes of traffic.
Well, you think about it, yeah, a road. You see, they like to be clever, right? So carriageway is just another name for a road. You know, because there used to be carriages on it, right?
I actually never put that together.
With horses. Yeah, nobody does, you know. Carriageway, and then when they say dual carriageway.
2?
Yeah, it's 2 sets of roads, basically, one going one way and one going the other. So it's like 2 carriageways, 2 roads, right? So 2 carriageways, 2 roads, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
2 roads going in each direction, right? So a carriageway, you know, dual carriageway. So yeah, just try not to get confused by their jargon when they say things, because it confuses people. They say dual.
Yeah.
So yeah, they just like to confuse everybody. So what's this? Okay, use the emergency. Okay, so when it says emergency area, all right, so that's emergency area. You know, you're either on a motorway or you're on a dual carriageway, but they can sometimes even call a motorway the carriageway, but very rarely they call it a dual carriageway. That means you're basically got, you know, 2 roads going either way, and there's probably a bit of grass in the middle of it.
Yeah.
So that's what that means. It means you're on a fast-moving road, and it's going to be a motorway or one of those dual carriageways, and That's why they have the emergency area, because it means if you break down, you've got somewhere to go without being a danger to yourself and other
Yeah, you're
people,
not in
you
the way
know.
of other traffic moving.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a fast-moving road with lots of danger on it. Keep your pets inside the vehicle. Make sure all the friends stay on the grass verge. Don't leave them hanging
Yeah.
about the road. The ones you like. Yeah, get them up on the grass out of the road. So there's nobody gets too fast or gets too close to the edge of the road, you know. So the edge of the road's the edge of the carriageway, just so you know. So use the emergency telephone, and there's always going to be a phone in these motorways and dual carriageways, and they sort of position them evenly, and you get like this little marker like this.
Yeah.
It looks like this, and then there's like an arrow on it like this,
Uh-huh.
and there's sometimes a number like 1, 2.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, and they're called markers, and basically they're spread out. And the reason why they're there is because if you break down, right, and most modern cars now, when you get them, these cars are very popular now. So they all come with this cover, basically, if you break down. So these are called countdown markers or post markers, and then you get this answer that where do you find this emergency telephone? Well, there's little markers that point towards it so that you know, because they're not going to put a phone on every 10 meters, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then when you get the phone and you phone up the emergency services, they'll ask you, who do you want, right? When you speak to them, ambulance, fire engine, or police.
Yeah.
And then they want to know where you are, you see, because even though there's an emergency area, it could be like a motorway, it's got like 300 miles long.
And then the number tells you what point you're at in the motorway.
There you go. That's it. So that the emergency vehicle that's coming to get you, because if you break down on a motorway, like you're not even allowed to change a puncture, you know it, don't you?
I didn't know that. I thought you
No,
could
no,
change your tire if you needed to change it
no,
on the spot.
no,
Just
no,
to wait for
sir,
somebody.
no, siree. You got to wait till somebody comes for you. If you try to change the wheel on the motorway, you could actually get yourself a little small fine for that and maybe points on your license. Because they reckon it's dangerous, you see, because cars, if you're stopped in a hard shoulder, that little area to the left, you're not allowed to do anything basically there. You meant to phone up and get
just sit there.
You meant to go and get the phone if you haven't got a mobile phone, which is rare these days.
Yeah.
You meant to use this emergency phone and phone them and tell them you broke down. Because what they'll do is they'll send a police car out, and the police car will stop about 100.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll stop 100 meters behind you, put the flashing lights on, and then that way, then they'll get you recovered by what's known as a recovery vehicle will come out and fix your tire or whatever. But so anyway, the highway code test will probably come up like you broke down on a motorway. What must you do or what must you not do? Yeah. So now you know. You're not allowed to do any mechanical stuff on the motorway or anything. So there you go. Let me clear this for you. If I can find out how to do it again. Just forgot. There we go. Okay, so 20. Hand signals, what? Seriously? This test is getting crazier all the time. Do you know why they brought these hand signals in? You're not going to believe this when I tell you.
No, because that is like what using a bicycle, not on a car.
Well, they used to have hand signals back at the very beginning of driving, right?
Yeah.
It was like 1936 or something.
They didn't have indicators and stuff.
They didn't have indicators. No, they had some other weird stuff going on with like some plastic thing used to fall off the side of it to tell people to turn on left or right. Yeah, it's true. And they had a funny name for them as well. Can't remember what it was, but then they brought in these hand signals so that if you broke down on a motorway, you could tell people, or on a road, you could tell people where you're going. So that so it's very similar to what happens on a bicycle, right? The reason why they've reintroduced them is because of electric cars, I think.
Okay.
Because what can happen with an electric car? What happens with your phone when the battery goes low?
It dies.
It dies. and
Doesn't
you may not be able to put things on. Apps may not work. So electric cars are basically big cars with big mobile phone batteries. Exactly
Yeah.
the same. It's actually the same battery as in a mobile phone, would you believe?
Really?
Except,
Like just a
yeah,
bigger version.
it's a lithium battery, they call it. So it's about 100 times bigger than an ordinary battery. The very first electric car they got to work with lithium batteries, the guy actually stuck together about 100 mobile phone batteries to get it to work.
Hmm.
That's how they
That's
got.
crazy.
Yeah, that's what you. I mean, don't get me wrong, they are good. I mean, I've got one for the driving school. We love it, but
Yeah.
yeah, you just have to charge it up like a mobile phone, basically. But what I think is
Yeah.
what they're thinking in the future is as electric cars get older and the batteries start and like a mobile phone doesn't hold its charge the way it used to,
Yep. Definitely.
then things will start to go wrong, like heaters won't work, indicators or lights might not work or something. So now they're training everybody to use hand signals. There you go.
Okay.
You heard it here first. They're expecting they're expecting cars to be lying at the side of the road like mobile phones all out of charge.
Waiting for the flow.
There's going to be somebody coming along with a big van with a big like charger vehicle, like a
Yeah.
big mobile phone charger. That's a good business idea. I mean, get it started.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you could be the mobile phone car charger.
Yeah.
Because they're only out, you see, EVs. They're not that popular yet. So I'd imagine
Yeah.
another 5 years, 10 years, there'll be loads of them lying at the side of the road, all with big signs on the roof saying, I need charged.
Yeah.
So anyway, you get the idea. These hand signals. This is basically the one. See,
Yeah.
if you want to turn left, you can't stick your arm out to the left, can you?
No, because you're sitting on the right side of the road.
Well, you'd smack your passenger, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You imagine doing that. You can't stick your left hand out. You'll be smacking your passenger every time if your lights are red. So
Yeah.
so this is why they have this right hand going round in circles like this. Because if you look at it, it's just going round and round like this, and it tells the car behind it you're going to be turning left. And if you were turning right, there would be no need to just put it straight out, I guess.
Yeah.
See the difference?
It's on the right hand side.
Yeah, it's dead easy. And then if they want to tell, if you're slowing down, you go up and down like this, right?
All right. Okay.
That's basically the different signs. You have this one going around in circles because you can't stick your arm out. You'd smack your passenger.
Yep, in the face.
So,
yep.
Could be a good idea sometimes. And then you have this one for going right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this one here for going up and down. For slowing down, basically. Just the same as a bicycle, basically.
Yeah.
There we go. Electric cars. So we've got all the modern technology, but we have to go back to using hand signals because the batteries might go down. The world's a crazy place. And there's another one. So you got that one wrong then because of this.
Yeah.
Happy days.
So that's slowing down.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't see these. Did you get them on any of your other tests?
No, I haven't had an arm signal yet. No,
Just shows you, yeah. Just shows you if you'd got them, you'd have been in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one to know then. Have you got this theory test booked again?
Yeah.
When for?
What's the date today? The 9th. I think it's next week or the week after.
All right.
Have you seen
any of my other videos that I've made on theory training?
No.
I'll send you some links.
Okay.
So you can learn from other people's as well.
Yeah.
Who've had trouble, and yeah, I'll do that. I'll send you links. How's that?
Yeah, that'd be good.
And you gotta listen to them. You know, there's hours of them. Like if you listen to them, if you listen to them all, you'd be super good at highway code. Because I cover yeah, you'd be like the best highway code person in the world. Because I cover I just cover all the horrible questions. It's just what I do. I just pick on the worst questions possible, and then so I made a whole pile of them. So what should you do before you tow a trailer for the first time? Well, as a new driver, you can tow a trailer. That's the first thing. When you pass your test, you're allowed to.
Oh, because you've just done your training.
Well, not really. It's just they kind of allow you
No?
to. They allow you to put a trailer on the back of the car when you pass your test. So you can pass
Oh,
your test one day and have a trailer on the back of the next. Now it's not going to be a big trailer. You're only allowed to have
yeah, yeah,
it's 3/4 a ton actually is what the weight is, which is not big, but
yeah.
yeah. But what they're saying to you is you should take some help before you do it
Okay, yeah.
because it's kind of awkward with the extra length. So yeah, just I haven't seen that question before, to be honest with you. That's the first time I've seen it because this is an updated. I update my disc every day. So
Yeah,
every
I've seen
time,
a couple trailer one, but not that one. I've seen the
yeah,
one about like what speed you might travel at and stuff, but not that.
yeah, basically take professional training. So yeah, but the P plates we don't use P plates. So well, was a good guess. So fit P
Yeah.
plates to the trailer. Yeah, we don't. Yeah, yeah. 34. Then what should you do before making a U-turn? What's a U-turn?
You're going
So
one way and turn
well,
and change the other way.
yeah. So there's a. You know how you do the turnaround exercise when you're doing your driving. You haven't been doing driving yet. Have you done any
I
driving lessons
haven't
yet?
since, yeah, I haven't in a while. Though. I have been,
Do you know how to do one of these turnaround exercises where you go like this and then you go back and then
no,
you go forward? You done one of those before?
no, I haven't, no.
So, sometimes it's called a 3-point turn.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of a 3-point turn, but I haven't
Yeah,
actually
that's
done it
that's
yet.
what that is, but they don't actually call it's not actually proper name as a 3-point turn anymore. Just they don't call it that anymore. They just ask you to turn the car around to face the opposite direction. So
Okay, yeah.
they don't even use the word 3-point turn. They don't do that anymore. They used to years ago, but not anymore. But this U-turn thing is basically what you would see taxi drivers doing sometimes, or people in a hurry to go somewhere. They just do this here.
Yeah.
That's called a U-turn. See shape of a U.
Yeah.
So that's why they call it a U-turn. And it's the easier way of getting around. But the only thing, the road has to be big enough.
Yeah. There's a lot of like, there's the signs for the no U-turns.
Yeah, but the road has to be wide enough. You can't do a U-turn if you have a big car and it's a small road. You can't do it. There's not enough room to do it.
The swing will be too
Yeah, the
far
swing would be too
away.
much. Yeah, you'd be swinging all over the place, clipping the curbs and stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, if you couldn't do a U-turn, that's when you would do one of these ones. You would do that turnaround, they call it now,
Yeah,
not a
3-point
3-point.
turn.
You would go boom like that. Oops, can't make it. Oh, go back again. Oops, stop, can't make it. Oh, and I'll go that way.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. That's why they used to call it a 3-point turn. See?
Mm-hmm.
Now you know how to
Yeah.
do one of those now.
Yeah.
Question 41. What should you do if your vehicle has a puncture? We talked about this, didn't we?
Oh yeah, I said yeah. That's what I thought. I thought you could change it as quickly as
Ah,
possible, but it's
you
called for
see?
assistance now.
Now you know. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, you got it. This is the correct answer. Pull up on the hard shoulder
Yeah.
in an emergency refuge area and call for assistance on these phones.
Yeah. Not
You're all
want
over
to
it.
change it.
Yeah, you've got it now. Pull up the hard shoulder you went for, and oh yeah, change your wheel as quick as possible. I hear you. Now you know.
Yep.
This one's a tricky one.
No, I
This is a
thought yeah,
tricky
I
one.
thought that was traffic calming.
Yeah, but this is a tricky one. I'll tell you the reason why it's a tricky one because they don't put the color in it. See, if they put the color in it, it would be
Oh,
easier.
okay, yeah.
See,
Yeah.
that's actually like this red. This is meant to be red. Okay. Normally it's red. You've seen that one before, like a red circle like this with a red bar through it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's that to do with? It's red now.
Stop.
No, it's
Ending.
no. You're thinking about this one. It's the no entry.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm
That's
thinking of.
yeah, not that one. No, this is a parking thing.
Okay.
I just give me see if I can give you a help with this because this is a bit confusing. I'll try to show you a wee diagram now. If you just Give me 2 seconds till I get something up for you on the screen, so I can show you this. Right, I'll have to check this one out for you and give you a couple of wee bits and bobs of so no parking sign. I'll put them up. Parking sign. Okay, I think we might have it now. Yeah, got it. I'm going to show this for you. I'm going to share my screen for a second. Just let me know if you can see it okay.
Yeah, I've got it. Yeah, I can see that.
You see these?
Yeah.
Then basically, this is the one that they have on the diagram for you. That's the one that you were looking at. I'll go share back to the other screen again. See, it's that one.
It's still on the white. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a diagonal, one diagonal one.
Yeah, so that's the one that says no waiting, right? So that you've got the no waiting sign. So that one says no waiting. Can you see the other screen again with the red and the blue on them?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the one that showed you no waiting, which is basically a parking area where they're sort of saying to you, you're not allowed to park your car here. But they usually come with a little plate, like here at the top.
Oh, yeah.
They normally come with this little plate, and this little plate will
they
have
look more familiar now.
Yeah, they'll have a little time on it. We'll say no parking between 8 o'clock and 9 a.m.
Yeah.
So that basically means to keep it free for maybe school runs and things.
Yeah.
But this is what they do. They try to find out, do you know the difference between the two of them? So, and you've got this one with a 2 in it, the two crosses in it.
Yeah.
It's like you're never allowed to stop there.
Okay. So it's
that's
like
called a clearway.
Yeah.
This one that you've been given is like basically a parking area where you're not allowed to wait at certain times. But then what they have done with you there is they have done this thing. They've went and said zone ends on it or something. Let me just take you back to it. Show you the question.
Zone ends.
So what's telling you that that's the end of the parking restriction area? That makes sense.
Okay. So like after that you can park?
Basically. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've got it. That's it. Happy enough?
Yep. Yeah, that's fun.
Cool. 45. Staying alive. What does it mean when a moving vehicle is showing a flashing amber beacon? Flashing amber. Where do you see flashing amber on vehicles?
On the back of like a lorry or something.
You've seen loads of them in your life. You've seen loads of them. Flashing amber on vehicles. You've seen loads of them. Guarantee it. What about the gritting lorries, the one that put the grit on the roads for salt?
Oh yeah, and the ones that do the clean and sweep of the road.
Yep. There you got it. Basically anything on the road, which is like, them mobility scooters?
Yeah.
Those mobility scooters, right, that you see, cruising around the place.
Yeah.
They're meant to have a flashing amber light on them too.
Usually sometimes some of them do have them.
Yeah, exactly. They're meant to have them as well. And basically they don't have them. They don't have them sometimes. They're meant to have them. And that's what they come with a little rod with a flashing amber on the top of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's when so if you think about it, flashing amber then is always on every vehicle that's causing a temporary obstruction on the road.
So it's because it's slow moving?
Yeah. Anything that's going to be...
Yeah, that makes sense.
Causing traffic some grief. Could be a grit lorry, it could be a lorry for, collecting this stuff. Could be council road repairs. If someone's doing some road repairs. What else? There's a whole pile of them vehicles knock about the place,
Yeah.
And they've all got flashing amber on them. That's how you know. Do you know there's a couple of other colors that you see on vehicles? Do you know which one has the green flashing light?
Is that
do you know one has a green flashing light?
Like bins, like in the bins now.
They'll have the amber. They'll have amber because they're temporary obstruction.
Yeah, this shows temporary obstruction. I'm not sure what that colour means.
The green one. It comes up in this test, you see.
Green.
The green one. It's a what color do you go when you feel sick? It's a good memory. Good memory trigger. Yeah.
Emergency vehicles.
Nearly there. Close. The ambulances the ambulances have blues and twos, they call them. So
yeah, blues. Yeah, I think in blue. I can't think of what's green.
What's green? That's what you just need to remember what color you turn when you're sick. It's the doctors.
Oh, the doctor. Okay.
Yeah,
like
you want to take a wee note. Yeah.
Yeah,
like you write that one down because that comes up. But just remember that's a memory trigger. What color you turn when you're sick? Green. Yeah, it's a good way to remember it. These memory triggers do work. I know they sound silly, but
no, they literally do trigger my memory. That's how.
Well, that's so. I get it because that's how I remember things. You see, I make something funny about them or something, and then
you remember it easier.
You remember it easier because the Highway Code's such a boring book to read. That's why everybody fails the test because they start reading it and they fall asleep. I get it. I totally get it. So let me see what else we got. Okay, we got 47. Last but not least. Okay, so let's have a think about this one because it will always confuse you unless you remember what I'm going to show you.
Okay.
Always look at the left side of it first. And then that's the way you're going to be going down, you see?
So down the way, or
if you look at the left side, if you look at the left side of it, that's where you're starting. Left side is your starting point. So this is where you're starting here. And you're going that way. See? You start on the left and work your way to the right. Yeah, so if it was the other way around, you start on the left. Oh, I'm getting worse at drawing, for goodness sake, what the hell. Yeah, I've got a D in art. So there we go, there you go. See, it would look something.
Yeah, and then that's going upwards.
Yeah, something like that there. So you start here, so you're going up the hill. Probably the worst diagram in the world. Okay, so that's not too bad then, is it?
No, let's have
a wee quick look at what your weakest area is then.
Okay.
And we'll see what's going on. So, have you been passing this hazard perception test? Okay.
Yeah, I've been doing the hazard perception.
Easy.
Today.
Have you ever failed? Have you ever failed it?
Yeah, once I got 1 week I got it and I got 60, and then the next I got 12 out of nowhere.
What the heck?
And the other times I've been passing, I have no idea what I did.
You have no idea what you did? What was that the last time or?
No, that was about 5-6 times ago.
Okay, about 3 years ago.
Okay. Literally.
Yeah. Okay. No worries, man. So let me see what we got here. So 35, 75. Okay. See, when you look at this, you can see, right? So we got 1, 2, 1, 2. That's nothing to worry about there. Documents is always a problem. You did really well, hazard awareness, so that's good. 3, 4, 4, 1, 1. That's okay. Road traffic signs isn't too bad because most people get a lot more wrong than that. So rules of the roads 50-50. That's could be a good one to try to get past if we can tonight. And so, okay, so this one vehicle loading is only one question. So vulnerable road use is okay, 4 out of 5. So there's some of them you're some 100%, and a couple of those so do you see what I mean at the beginning of this when I said there's some of these areas you don't need to worry about, but others you really do?
Yeah.
So we need to just find out what your weakest area is right now, and when we find that out, we can make it your strongest area by very simply targeting that area. We'll look at, will you take a wee note of rules of the road for me?
Yeah, rules of the road.
Rules of the road. So what we do now is to target this area as we go on to this separate part of this program. And let me see, learn by practicing. So we go to here, and you told me it was rules of the road, correct?
Yep.
So now what we do is we go to paper number 1. Now there is only 4 papers, and this is a complete question bank.
Okay.
So yeah, this is how this works. This is the torture phase of the lesson that you're having this evening. Well, that's what you came here for, to get tortured by me
Yeah.
and the passing the highway code, the most boring subject in the world. So here you go, 20 questions. Up to you. Ready?
Yep.
Have a go. And then once you get one wrong, I'll jump in and show you how you get the correct answer. Come on then. Let's have a go. So who has priority at an unmarked crossing?
No one has priority.
Well,
The
you go
person
mark,
from
you
the
mark
right?
that one, and I'll show you what you do next. You mark that one. Yeah. Now you go down below and go to hint, first of all. There you go, hint. What does it say? Priority is always given by road markings or road signs. If there is no road markings and no signs, then guess what? No one has priority. Now what you do is go to the bottom left and press very bottom left of the gray area. Yeah. And then it gives you the answer, and it gives you a little explanation.
Okay.
Okay, so that's your mission if you decide to accept it. You've got the you've got the answer, all 20 questions, and if you get any wrong, you're going to repeat the paper again until you get 20 out of 20. Once you get 20 out of 20, we can put that in the bin and say we got that one sorted. Now, every time you come here, we finish off by picking your weakest area, and you do the 20 questions until you get them all right. And that way, basically, we fix what's broken. And hopefully then every time sometimes people come after a couple of these and set the first test up, and guess what? They pass it.
Yeah.
That's what happens. So go ahead. I'm going to take my wee camera off here again for a wee second. I'm just going to take this off. I'm going to let you work away there on your own. Okay, stop video. Happy days. Okay, see how you go. The dog barking.
Yeah, those are my dogs. They're absolutely crazy.
If he wants to go, he wants to go for a walk. That's what's wrong.
Yeah. That should be them. She's fine.
He wants to do the highway code test.
Yeah.
Keep just left of the middle of the road.
That's okay. That's what you would expect to see on your weakest area. So this is great. This is what you need to do. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just keep going through this process. Try to remember what you got wrong, read the little section, and then when you reset it, you'll see the difference. And this will work for you, but you keep going. You're doing well. See, we talked about that one, didn't we? About the parking
Yeah.
at night. That's one of the hardest questions, that one, about the parking. Oh, another tough one.
It's always the parking one.
Yeah, no, this one's crazy. Red rear reflectors. See, let me just move this grey thing out the road because this one's an important one for you. I've seen this one wrong so many times on driving theory tests. It's unreal. I'll just move this away to the side so you can. I don't know what I'm doing with this here. Hold on. There we go. Okay, so you're looking for somewhere to park at night. When may you park on the right side of the road? So if you kind of think about this, right, you should never really park on the right side of the road facing forward. You see, because of
actually, because we drive on the left hand side of the road, I've just
yeah,
caught that.
no, it's not. No, it's a tough one. Trust me, that's really not as obvious as you think. Yeah, so if you park on a one-way street, you can park on the right because the back of your car is facing, the direction the traffic will be coming. And when they put their lights on you, they can see the red reflectors. And unfortunately, if you park the other way, they wouldn't. And so that's all that actually is, my man. So let me see, where are we? Rules of the road. You know what? We're just going to have another go at that one, right?
Yep.
See if you can get a bit better on it because this is where you need to be in this area for now anyway.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's have another go. See how I get on this time. You'll do it a lot quicker this time. Watch. Trust me. You'll be getting good at it now.
I need to get my mouse. I keep forgetting.
Just do the whole test again. You'll see how much improvement you got after just doing it, because you went through the ones you didn't understand, right? Well, that's a good answer. Well done.
Yeah, it's easier the second time when you've like kind of looked at
Well,
questions and like go back and look at them again.
yeah, but you know, it's just these are questions you hadn't seen before, and then you've now learned how to do them. So it's kind of telling you that it's not you, it's that stupid app you were using probably. So you can pass this all right. It's just you just need to work on your weakest areas, and then find out what they are and get them good, and you should be fine. So yeah, well done. It's nice to see you getting them right. So because there's a good confidence builder for you, because I'm sure you're fed up with it. It's just the way they ask the questions, you see. Oops.
Oh.
You went to the other side. That's it. Well done. I think 19 out of 20 is not bad.
Yeah.
And you can see the graph now. Just have a wee quick look to see that's what you did on your test. You see, that's just a little bit below where you need to be. There's where you needed to have got to be happy to do that.
Yeah.
So you're not ready for it. Basically, that's the bottom line. The reason why. Well, I'm just being honest with you. It's probably me saying anything else. The reason why you haven't been successful is the app hasn't worked for you. It's not because you don't know the answers or you can't work them out, because you've just proved you can. So it's got nothing to do with that at all. It's to do with the wrong questions and the wrong way they ask them.
Yeah.
And so just by even doing that one paper, it's pushed your score up well above the green line by just doing that one bit of training. So, but unfortunately, we need to do that with them all.
Yeah.
You need to try to study more on these areas that we just done. Try to do it on your own if you can. So you can you not make that up, force that up to ask you questions on certain subjects?
What was that, sorry?
Can you, that up you have can form one, can that not be like rules of the road, just continually until you get all the questions correct? Or
yeah, I think it can.
Well, that's what my advice would be. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a link to this one that we've done, plus I'll give you a link to all the other ones, and then study them until the cows come home. And then chase
repetition, keep doing it until
it's just really just picking out. Don't try to do the whole test all the time. That's a mistake, you see. Trying to do the whole test all the time has not worked for you so far. So it won't change. It won't get any better, right? So you've got to basically go to the basics and find out a weakest area, and then just do it till that weakest area is perfect.
Yep.
And I'll just show you a wee bit, because if you look here in the screen, there's you there, Amy, up where he is. So let me scroll down. I'll show you how many people's been coming here.
Yeah.
Can you see?
Yeah.
These are all people that have experienced that test and unfortunately come unstuck because of the app didn't work for them.
Yeah.
So try not to be too worried about it. Because it's not, like I say, you didn't know the questions. It's just that they're just the way they asked them, I'm afraid,
Yeah.
It's all right. It's just one of them things. Now you know, hopefully, what you were doing wrong. You can maybe just get through it now. So what email would I send these links to for you? What links?
Send them to mine.
Well, I have one. Let me just make sure what email.
If you get my mom's,
Okay. I'll just send it to your mum's then?
Yep, that's perfect.
All right. And then you can have a look through it. And if there's any more, if there's any more problems with it, then just get back to me. But I'll send you links of all of those